Are you struggling with eczema or other skin conditions that won't go away? Or maybe you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, yet nothing seems to help. Or are you just feeling bloated and tired and are battling inflammation? What if the answer isn't another prescription, but what's on your plate? The Elimination Diet is a powerful reset that can help uncover hidden food triggers behind inflammation, skin issues, fatigue, and even autoimmune flares when nothing else has worked. If you're dealing with stubborn symptoms your doctors can't explain, or you've tried every cream, medication, and protocol with no results, this video is for you. The Elimination Diet is a short-term reset where you remove certain foods known to trigger inflammation, immune responses, or digestive issues. After a few weeks, you reintroduce them one by one to find out which ones your body doesn't tolerate well. This process consists of 4 stages: identification, preparation, elimination, and reintroduction. It starts with the identification of which foods to eliminate. You can follow different strategies to identify which foods are best to eliminate first. You can base the subset on allergy or intolerance tests and eliminate all foods that were flagged as potentially problematic. You could also start with a small subset based on your own experience with your body's responses when eating these foods. If you know you are always bloated or have stomach issues after eating pasta, for example, you are likely best served by eliminating gluten. The last strategy is to prioritize the elimination based on likelihood. It is, for example, known that both gluten and dairy are the most common food intolerances in the world. For most people, merely eliminating these 2 from the diet, in combination with efficient management of blood sugar levels, is usually already sufficient to substantially reduce inflammation. By the end of phase 1, you'll have a clear idea of which foods to remove from your diet. I'll share a helpful list of common triggers to consider later in this video. Once you've identified which foods are best to try and eliminate, it is time to move on to stage 2, preparation. Before you begin, a little preparation goes a long way. The more ready you are, the easier the process will feel. With the list of foods to eliminate in hand, start collecting recipes that you like that offer sufficient variety. Variety is not only better for your health, it also ensures you make it through the elimination phase easier. Once sufficient recipes have been collected, start creating a weekly meal plan. Make sure you have a solid plan for the weeks ahead. Keep meals simple and repeat favorites, but again, make sure you offer yourself sufficient variety. Now that you have a plan, make sure to stock up on the ingredients you need for the meal plan, but make sure you also stock up on safe snacks. When doing grocery shopping, read every label. Even sauces, seasonings, and teas can contain hidden ingredients you want to avoid while eating clean. Prepare your weekly meals in advance as much as possible to make it easiest on yourself. So start batch cooking and freeze wherever possible. Prep your grains, roasted veggies, and proteins in advance. And lastly, do not forget to prep your mindset. Remind yourself this isn't forever, it's a short-term reset to help you feel better long-term. You can do this. Once you've prepared yourself, you can start with stage 3, the elimination stage. Now, you start eliminating the identified foods for a period of 30 to 90 days. You should start to feel much better after about 2 to 3 weeks, as this is when your gut starts to heal. Keep going until at least 30 days to provide your gut microbiome with sufficient time to heal completely. If you are not noticing a difference after 30 days, you should consider eliminating additional or other food groups. If you did feel better after 30 days, but you still feel like you are progressing to even better health, then keep going even longer. After a maximum of 90 days, it is wise to start the next phase, reintroduction. Now, you start to slowly reintroducing the foods one by one with at least a 2-week interval. Reintroducing a food group slowly doesn't mean diving into large amounts of yogurt and cheese on day 1. That should go without saying. The key is to begin with small portions and choose forms that are somewhat processed but not ultra processed, then slowly increase both the quantity and freshness over the course of the 2-week reintroduction phase. Here's an example approach for dairy. On day 1 and 2, you start with a small amount of dairy that has been double heated. This makes it easier for your body to process the dairy. For example, try something baked with a bit of butter. Butter is made by heating cream, and baking adds another heat step. Now monitor your body closely for any symptoms. If all goes well, you can double your portion of double heated dairy on days 3 and 4. Again, watch for any reactions. If you're still symptom-free, you can move on to single-heated dairy like a pancake made with milk on day 5 and 6. If that goes well, double your intake on days 7 and 8. Now you can progress to less processed or unheated dairy, such as a small serving of cheese or yogurt. Start with no more than a quarter cup and increase the amount after 2 days if you feel fine. If you're still tolerating dairy well in this stage, try a small amount of fresh milk. If no issues arise, you can continue to increase your intake gradually until back to normal, and move to reintroduce in the next food group. If you start feeling symptoms after reintroducing a particular food, it could be a sign that you still have an intolerance or allergy for this food, and that it is triggering an immune response or contributing to inflammation in your body. From there, the advice is to eliminate this food for a longer period of time, maybe even, but certainly not by definition forever. Once the food is eliminated again, wait another week or 2 to allow your body to calm down again before you start to reintroduce the next. That wraps up the 4 stages of the elimination diet. But we're not finished just yet. As promised, I'll also give you an overview of the usual suspects when it comes to food intolerances and inflammation. If you're unsure where to begin and testing isn't an option, these food groups are a great starting point for your elimination journey. First up are gluten and dairy. These are the most common amongst food intolerances and are the 2 food groups to prioritize when starting the elimination diet. Next on the list are eggs and soy. These are slightly less but still quite common triggers for the immune system, as are rice, corn, nightshade vegetables such as tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and peppers, as well as certain types of nuts and seeds, such as peanuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, almonds, and sunflower seeds. These 8 food groups are key considerations when deciding what to include in your elimination diet. To get the most out of the process, it's important to eat as cleanly as possible while temporarily removing and reintroducing these foods. What does that mean in practice? Focus on organic, whole foods. Think plenty of vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, high-quality proteins, whole grains, and fermented foods. These will support your body, strengthen your system, and promote overall health. At the same time, try to avoid sugar and refined carbs, ultra-processed foods, processed meats, fried foods, trans fats, artificial sweeteners, additives, and alcohol. Each of these can negatively affect your body and may significantly reduce the effectiveness of your elimination diet. If you'd like to learn more about clean eating, be sure to check out my video on the anti-inflammatory diet, where I dive deeper into these topics and much more. And that's it for the elimination diet. Good luck on your health journey. As always, I am excited to keep supporting you along the way. Let me know how it goes in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.